Well, welcome again. This third and last video is about you the teachers, and what you can do to help your students maximize their outstanding potentialities. I assume that you have already looked at the first two videos and that I can use some materials from them. I also assume that you work in regular classrooms so that you have only a few academically talented students in your classroom. That top 10% that represents the talented in the DMGT. Well, the key observation that will be the base of this video is the fact that giftedness is all about ease and speed in learning. It is the trademark of giftedness in the DMGT, in any form of giftedness. So, take these students in any learning situation, and what will you see? They learn much faster than their peers. They can master new materials in minutes, in a jiffy. What does that create? Lots of free time. And that free time cannot be used because they have to follow the slow pace of the whole group. That slow pace can lead to loss of interest, of motivation, and sometimes can create disruptive behavior. Well, in the next 5-6 minutes, I will try to propose to you ways to use that free time more effectively and efficiently so that they can maximize the development of their potentialities. Well, the key to a more effective use of their free time is called enrichment. Yes, I did use the term enrichment instead of the more common curriculum differentiation. Well, I don't like differentiation because it is too vague and it applies to so many different groups of students in special education. By contrast, enrichment means exactly what we want to do. Offer a content that will be on a daily basis more rich with more information than what the regular curriculum can do because of its slow pace. There are many types of enrichment, but the best one is called enrichment in density. It is also called curriculum condensation or curriculum compacting. Enrichment in density means offering more content by unit of time. In a week or in a month, you can bring more parts of the regular yearly curriculum. You certainly know that most of your bright and achieving students could master in a week or in a month 20% to 30% more content than they are doing right now because of the pace required for the slow and average students. Well, allowing them to progress faster is just the most appropriate response to their more rapid pace of learning. And it is also the most motivating. You can let them go by themselves with materials, supervising them once in a while, and also checking their mastery with regular assessments. That's what you can do. Well, I can imagine you immediately being worried. What will I do if they complete the year's curriculum in just a few months? That will just create more free time. What should I do? Well, you can at least do three things. The first one would be to fill that new free time with other forms of enrichment. For example, semester-long projects or other types of learning situations. That would be enriching, especially if the student is offered to choose what to do. The second one is to allow them to move ahead into the next year's curriculum. Well, that's not easy because you need to obtain the agreement of the next year's teachers. But that thing which is called customized pacing is used in many schools and it works pretty well. It allows students to move at their own pace and progress as soon as they've mastered the content. And the third one is to check if the student is also advanced in other subjects. And at that point, you can think about grade skipping. That's just exactly what happened with my daughter years ago when she got bored with the first week of the second grade curriculum. She didn't want to go to school anymore. Well, we offered Veronique to move to third grade. She jumped on it and it was instant success. The research, the scientific literature is quite clear about the success and the positivity of most of these accelerative initiatives. Just Google Acceleration Institute and you will find lots of information there about the virtues and the lack of vices of accelerative measures. Now, there are other types of enrichment that we could talk about, but the time is just going so fast. Let me just mention a few words of caution about enrichment activities. What is called enrichment activities? The first one is be careful about multiplying exercises on skills that have already been mastered. That's called, more of the same thing. This is the worst thing that talented students will want to do. The second one is about separating specific enrichment activities for talented students from non-specific enrichment for the whole group. Visits to museums and visiting farms or things like that, and also inviting speakers from outside to talk to students. They are quite worthwhile and interesting, but they are not the specific type of enrichment that will maximize the talented students' potentialities. And third, avoid especially what the famous Julian Stanley called busy work. Busy work is just occupying students so that they won't start disturbing. And keep in mind the basic rule. The best type of enrichment is enrichment in density. Well, to complete this short overview, here are two final comments. First, teachers are just one of many sources of influence that can contribute to the development of talent. Keep in mind that the MGT figure, with its beautiful complexity, with the blue gifts on the left and the turquoise development at the bottom, and the green talents on the right, and also with these catalysts in the brown center area. Notice that you are there in this environment, the teachers, a small little source of impact encircled by all these other sources. Keep also in mind that many sources of influence have very strong inertia. They don't move easily. And they don't move for two reasons. The first one is that very strong habits built over many years are not easy to change. If you have developed some disinterest for math, for example, that won't be easy to modify. And also, many of these sources of influence have strong genetic roots, like temperament, like interests, like willpower. Their research has shown that individual differences are related to genetic roots. So, in a nutshell, be modest. Don't harbor unrealistic expectations about your power to induce change. Just a few meaningful impacts on a few students, year after year, represent significant little victories that you can be proud of and that you can cherish. Well, sadly, this is all the time we have. Again, I invite you to visit my website. You'll find there lots of information. And also, I would recommend one article called 10 Commandments for Academic Talent Development. You can download it and you'll find in that document lots of additional information about what you can do with your students. So, best wishes in your professional projects. Goodbye.